do I know? I'm not a scholar or a gentleman.
I'm both. I'm not. I'm a fucking idiot.
One of us has to be.
I'm a scholar, a gentleman, and a fucking idiot. Okay. That is unfortunately what we're doing.
It's Taltos time!
Yay. Taltos time.
Okay. Listen up, children. We didn't even do as much as we should have done because we didn't finish last time.
No, we didn't.
You see all these? Every time I say what the fuck, I put a sticker in the book.
If I did that, my whole book would be stickers.
I mean, yeah, I limit myself. If it's the whole page, I'll put it somewhere in the middle. Do you know what the fuck moment is? Okay, let me say that. Okay, I said that this section wasn't as painful as the last section because there was less focus on Mona, but it really wasn't that long of a section. But there was focus on Mona. There just wasn't as much. Excuse me, I have indigestion.
I don't blame you, so do I.
The first actually the first what the fuck moment isn't about Mona. It's about Ash being he was being fed like they were giving him food. And he was describing the food and the pasta and the cream sauce and the cold milk, and then it says and the meat of a lobster, which he did not like but which was nevertheless white, so he only eats white foods.
I feel like we have to revisit the what does his poop look like thing again, because I'm like halfway between it looks like bird shit, like baby shit, and halfway between I think that maybe this is a brick that he like literally sits down and like shits an entire brick.
I can't do this with you because I buried that conversation. I'm hiding.
I mean, valid.
Okay. Normally I write all my notes out, but I just really couldn't. I said that's a waste of my time today.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of my time. So I'm going to take you on a journey with me. They confirm that she's not 6 weeks pregnant. She's 12 weeks pregnant. That's impossible.
That's impossible. I'm just a witch who fucked another witch. I think she knows, but she doesn't want to admit that she knows. Because then she would have to look at the fact. The other thing is these are very like established Catholic people throughout their family line, so they're going to be anti-abortion, like knee jerk, because that is part of that religion. She's immediately just like not wanting to face it because she's like, I should get an abortion. I know that that's like back there in the back of her mind, but she has been very vocally that she did not want to get an abortion for any reason, no matter what it was, even if it turned out, because they had talked about what if it's a Taltos before, and she's like, no, that couldn't happen again. And even like,
that's not real. We know that's not real.
Right. And even that conversation that Rowan has later on, she's like, oh, well, the only reason that Lasher got in, I think it's a mental thing in her head where she's like looking at Ash and she's like, how did he get here? Because the only way that Lasher got in is because like I mentally allowed him, and he was like hounding my family for years and years and years. She couldn't like understand, even though Ash is there with his, silver fox streaks in his hair. I don't want to call it that.
Yeah. I want to talk about that also, because this is the scary scope of what I grasped from all of this. Okay, Ash is here. Okay, and he didn't hunt so many lines of families to get here. Yeah. Y'all got punked and like abused by a baby monster ghost for centuries. Idiots.
Well, if they were smart, they would have wanted to keep him a baby monster ghost because at least he was stealing shit for them.
Idiots.
Like
Exactly.
keep stealing money for me. I guess that didn't really matter at that point though, because they had more money than God, but you know. I'm
So
just
I'm
like
just,
always trying to think of utility of things, you know.
but I'm just like, wow, how unnecessary.
Well, let's be honest, this entire story is unnecessary.
Yeah, it's just, y'all should be embarrassed. And I feel like Rowan looking at him so hard, I think she had that realization, like, damn,
Yep.
it played me.
I don't know, based on the internal like dialogue that we get from these people, like they're like shifting the way that like Yuri's like, I'm scared of Ash, run away, but like I trust Stuart, he wouldn't do anything. But then like so quickly when Ash shows up and he's like, Stuart's a liar, everyone jumps on his side immediately, even though they're suspicious of him and everything else. And Yuri is practically deep throating Stuart in the beginning. Okay, so like why did it flip so fast? I feel like these characters, they're just so,
Pickle.
yeah,
It
they have
shouldn't
no
have flipped that
personality.
hard.
Yeah.
You don't know him, and the only experience you've had with a Taltos is a bitch who played you and abused you. Okay,
Right.
use the body of your unborn child to get here and abuse you, bitch. And you trust him? You trust this random 7 foot tall long finger hoe? You trust him? Y'all are embarrassing.
Right.
Meanwhile, you got a 13-year-old locked up and you call her to tell her how much you love her. That's not
Yeah.
funny.
Well, like I think the Ash chapter ended with him like we had a perfectly normal chapter, like I mean not really normal. He's killing the Talamasca guy and stuff, but like that is the part of the plot I don't mind. So we're having like
I
a
don't either.
perfectly good time with this
Yeah.
part of the plot, and then we have to end it in him fantasizing about Mona again. And I'm like,
Yes, why?
bitch.
See, but that's a reminder that he's not a good guy. He's not a good creature either. He knows she's 13 and he's never even met her. He's seen a tiny little pocket-sized picture of her and he's like, her titties must be nice. Ew, ew. They're all bad people. That's why I'm death clutching this book. So they're all bad.
Yeah.
All bad. When
Oh.
Mona grows up, she's gonna be bad too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really her fault, but they're all bad.
Yeah.
They're all bad. Bad. Just because it's family tradition doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. Okay? It has to end somewhere. You guys
Mm-hmm.
don't even have a ghost anymore. You're doing it for kicks. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, okay? And they all know Michael's the baby daddy. They talk about it, and no one cares because she's the designee. What? You
Yeah.
can do whatever you want when you're the designee. As long as you make a baby and keep this train going, when at the end of the day, why? You don't have a ghost anymore. There's no rules. You can stop having sex with your relatives now and underage children. You can stop.
I
You
mean,
can stop.
they could have stopped that at any time too. Like all you have to do is tell the ghost to fuck off, and like, I mean, he caused some problems for I think it was Antha that
Yeah.
left. He caused problems for he killed her husband or whatever, but she got to fuck a normal guy for once. I'm gonna take that chance. I'm gonna roll that dice
Yeah.
myself, or like just not fuck someone. Like piss him
You have
off.
so much money and so much influence. What do you need to keep passing around this emerald for? What do you need to have to keep impregnating children for? What do you have to do that for? I mean, I don't think that those are good motivations anyway, but like, but now you don't even have them. Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Why is it because we're only this far into the book? Is that why? Is it? Is it? Help me. Help me. Well, no one can help me
No.
understand.
We're
There.
we're just kind of we're doing this.
They also like recertify that Mona doesn't have anybody. And so she moved into this house where she's supposed to be safe. And she's being she's being taken advantage of so hard. And she's like, this is good. I like this. Poor baby. I'm not invested in anybody
Mm-mm.
at all except for Mona, but like no one's protecting her. We can't protect her from outside of this book. We can't do anything.
Well,
Um,
and like she's such an unlikable character even as a kid. Like I hate to say that, like she's a kid, whatever, but like, and I think that Anne plays on that. Like you have to like this. You can't hate a 12-year-old, you know, or 13-year-old. That'd
that's
be
not
bad of
true. I
you.
don't tell me I can't hate
But like the way that she's written is so infuriating. The computer shit, like I don't need to know the DOS location of your file,
it.
bitch.
But
Every time.
she needs to sprinkle in evidence that Mona's a genius.
Oh my god.
She's
Yeah.
the smartest of them all at 13 and a woman. 13-year-olds are children, and
Yeah.
you know, 13-year-old. You know what I just learned?
Hmm.
I just learned that in like 30 something states in the United States that it's legal to marry a child.
Ew.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So things that would normally be considered a sex crime, it's not if you're married to the child in question. So how many other people have children locked in their basements? And when you put things into that perspective, then maybe if you're still like defending anything, you're like, maybe I can't. There's a million, bajillion, billion. Check math. That's a real number. Other books.
You're not wrong.
Like, I could shit all over this one, and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
These three books, I'm shitting on them. Okay?
Yeah.
Wiping my buns, my butt cheek with these. Not because they're written poorly. That's not the only thing I'm looking at when I read a book, especially when I pay money for it.
Here's the deal though. This bitch was head hopping like all fucking hell in the one chapter because I was like, am I in Raya's perspective? Because I'm reading
Oh,
his thoughts. Am I in Mona's perspective? You can't head hop like that because that is cheating. First of all, it's cheating. As a writer, I look at that and I'm like, you cheating bitch. Second of all, as a reader, it's confusing because then you jump back and you're like, what viewpoint am I reading? Because it's very important to have a defined viewpoint and voice. And I think maybe that's part of the reason these characters feel so flat is because there isn't a defined voice for the different characters. It's all the same like mush brain shit where they like change allegiances every 5 seconds and you never know what they actually feel.
the only thing she changes, and I notice, is that she gives Ash like really flowery language, and that's it. He's thinking the same shit, but it's like a meadow of sunflowers and daisies.
He's a rich old man.
He is with gray streaks.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, but like, dear sweet baby Jesus, I can't wait to be done with this book. Like the flowery shit. Here's an example. I didn't even mark it down, but I'm like never gonna be able to forget this. He keeps talking about his assistant Leslie, who apparently is super beautiful and doesn't need sleep, and he's
Is she a
like,
vampire?
he's talking about Samuel, who is like this little puppet man in like, why can't I think of English words? In very tailored, tiny, handsome outfits, and he's just like asleep. And he's like, make sure you fix the grand roast for Samuel. He'll be quite a bear when he wakes up.
Yeah, I remember be like, what the fuck is that like?
Sir.
So like if you don't get the Melkies when you're a baby, you become a bear and a little deformed man and you eat roasts. But if you
You
get the
need
Melkies,
you
you
need the
become
milky.
a big tall guy, baby man, and you have to eat cheese.
You need
And
the double, triple cream cheeses.
again, and I have to know what the little guy's poop looks like. It's got to be like the deer pellets, okay? I'm going to look at their diets and try to determine what their shit looks like.
I'm closing this book. Forget the notes. Forget them all.
Here's the other thing. At the end of this whole thing, and this is the last screenshot I took, or it's not really a screenshot. I'm taking a picture of a physical book I'm reading. He reaches over and puts his fucking hand on Yuri's leg.
He's traumatized. He's ill. He's been shot. Like, Yuri's going through it. Okay, you're fantasizing about his child lover, and you have to touch his leg as like a promise of, I know you're sick right now, but baby, when you're all better, you're getting it. Like,
it's like
I feel like they're gonna
tonight. You from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I want my name to be Spaghetti. I love that.
I can't do this.
I can't be serious. I'm
can't.
sorry. You cannot ask me to be serious about this book. It is fucking stupid.
Please. The whole no, we're gonna talk about the action sequence that Anne tried to put together here, okay? Okay, it was giving X-Men. What is happening right now? Because we know Rowan and Michael. We've been knowing Rowan and Michael since he had magic hands. Okay, we know them. They're just pedophiles. They're just rich pedophiles who had a fucked up baby. Please, we don't make that a clip because my mom's gonna be so mad at me.
Sorry, Steph's mom.
But that's what it is. They had a fucked up baby who could have unleashed hell on earth, okay? A fucked up baby who made a fucked up baby with the mom, okay? They did some stupid shit. Sure, they're witches, but they're not like Scarlet Witch. They're not like, you okay?
Yeah, sorry. I heard a lot of noise in the background.
Okay. They're not like practicing witches who are like charmed. They're not vanquishing demons to help the world on a regular basis. They're selfish, and most of them don't do anything. They can like read people's minds, but they're witches in like a biological sense as opposed to like, the other thing. And meanwhile, Ash is seeing them, and the way he's describing them, it makes me want to punch him in the face. Because he's like, I can tell that.
Okay. Because this part had me rolling, okay? He marveled. What was it that made the sheen? When he touched them, if he did indeed do that, they would be warmer than other humans. And if he put his ear to their heads, he would hear a low organic sound that he could not detect. Although occasionally he had heard this soft whispering murmur in the body of a living dog. So they're fucking dogs now? Like, what?
And he's talking about their eyes and how they're like, and how I imagine it is like the fighting in Twilight when the three vampires come into town and they're like, don't fucking talk to me, Ash. Like, don't even fucking talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't speak to me. It's just Rowan and Michael. Get it together. Get it together, okay?
I just want him to lay his head against theirs and like listen and be like, "You sound like a dog."
I can hear the ocean.
I can hear the ocean through the dog's stomach.
I can't deal with this. And they all converge, and then he's like, Stuart's a liar, and they're like, get him, and they throw him in the
Well, what about like the whole Talamasca scene with Stuart? Like he like decides. Well, yeah, but how fucking bumbling are they? Because the guy fucking tells Marklin exactly what's going on. And it's like, this is the fucking shadowy fucking academic agency we're supposed to be scared of? Excuse me.
Oh, most of them are over 100. Let's be real. Okay, they're elderly. And I feel like they just think that, I mean, this wasn't a great look for the Telemaster, but I was enjoying reading all of this and like, how I feel like the elders have to be deeply involved in picking the next superior general, especially if the last one got murdered inside a mother house. Doesn't there have to be an investigation? But what do I know? I'm not a scholar or a gentleman.
I'm both. I'm not. I'm a fucking
One of
idiot.
us has to be.
I'm a scholar, a gentleman, and a fucking idiot. Okay.
Okay. Markland is very suspicious. He is very suspicious. He is not like a. But I thought that they weren't in the. I thought only Stuart was in the Talamasca, and
Yeah.
then now Markland and Tommy are in there because they were like in there deep.
Well, yeah, they were. Well, they were. It sounds like they're kind of like. So, like in certain like occult orders, there are like initiates that are, learning from somebody else, but they're not like actually like considered part of the order. They're just like they're like on a trial kind of thing. And that's what I think this is, because he keeps saying, "Where's my tutor? Where's my tutor?" Like he's entitled to that information. And it's because I think that the only way that they are part of the Talamasca is through their connection to Stuart as like
Okay,
initiates.
sure. Okay, I can see how that's a thing, but so I'm waving scissors around. But if he's just a mentee, that doesn't entitle you to be up his butthole or inside his skin.
No, especially not with like a secret, like an agency like this that supposedly has like different levels of clearance for different information. Like that most of them there didn't even know what a Taltos was when Ash came in. Like,
Yeah. I would put him in the brig. Is that a thing?
oh no, I don't think. Oh, sorry, I have indigestion as well. I think that Ash can handle himself. I think that is. I think that he is written the way that Lasher should have been written, where
I,
he seems formidable. Like he's not afraid of shit.
but
But I mean,
Lasher
Lasher was a newborn.
and he kept saying like this is an infant. I don't know how long it takes him. I mean, like he literally came out of the womb as a daddy long legs. But
He was a
his
baby that
brain,
started going like this, and then his arms got longer as he flailed.
the wacky inflatable arms flailing tube guy. That's who
Exactly.
he was.
Yeah.
He didn't get enough milkies or double triple cream cheese in his life. He didn't have any guidance. Okay.
He did get the
Which
milkies
is
though. That's
why
what he
I
kept growing for.
kept
To paying and
right.
milk at the same time.
Disgusting.
Uh,
Okay. And that's why I kept yelling, kick him in the soft spot because he was just a baby.
mm-hmm.
You know? It's like that baby played y'all. Like I cannot get over it. Like played you to the heavens. Like by a baby.
By a
You know?
baby.
He was just a baby. Just embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Embarrassing. And so now we have to think about Tessa. I'm dying to know what she's like. I so curious. So now they can't just fold Stuart into a pretzel because they need Tessa. Do we really need her though? Can't we just like go about our lives without her? Can we just
I mean, we could go about our lives without all of this, but like, um,
nobody else knows where she is? Like let's just kill Stuart and pretend she's not real.
mm-hmm.
So what harm can she do if her and Ash don't come together?
She can't even do harm then. Spoiler.
So what the fuck do we need Tessa for?
It's like this is just like kind of a red herring, I think, to pump the brakes on the Mona situation, because that's where the big problem is going to ultimately come from. And the thing about it is like if it was interesting, fine. Like pace your stuff, put your plot out in a interesting way. The Talamasca stuff, I feel like she like, blew her load a little bit too quick with that one. If I'm, speaking
I mean,
colloquially for there. Like you could have drawn that out a bit more. We could have gotten more of an idea of what the like organization was like. Especially like Ash's connection, I don't think is like super explained.
it's not. And he's just like, I vowed to protect them.
Why?
And why? Why does it concern you?
Please say not Peter Van Abel, because we don't respect that bitch.
We don't. We do not. Honestly, if Mona was an adult, this would be more interesting
Hmm.
because you wouldn't be mad and you could
Yeah.
make it juicy. Rowan would have no, she could have been like, I know what you did, you harlot.
Hmm.
And, tension. I don't know, something, drama, something. But
Like
she's,
they could have at least made her 18. Like
yeah,
then it's like, yeah, this is gross, but it's legal, so like I can't really be. And we are not like super sure that Michael is a relative until Mary Jane comes into play and says, "Oh yeah, you're a Mayfair." Um, and even then, you can just be like, "Oh, who cares what the swamp lady says?"
he's
So
Celtic to his core. He could have come straight from Ireland, bro. His curly black hair and his blue eyes. Nothing's more Irish than that, allegedly.
yeah.
I'm unwell, but I'm more well than last time. I'm gonna keep being mad about the Mona situation. I I really don't know where this is going. I keep thinking about I was a Black Veil Brides, Blackwood Farm in the back of my head. And it's been a really long time since I read that. So I'm just like, I wish my imagination is a terrible place. So I'm just ready to.
We need to see where that lands in the like chronology, because we might want to like tuck that into our read of the Vampire Chronicles, like tuck it in to the middle before like the Atlantis one and the other like the
It
late
comes
Lestat
before
one.
Atlantis.
Yeah, we'll just consider it, even though it's like a crossover, we'll just consider it Vampire Chronicles and read it chronologically within that
Yeah.
timeline instead of leaving it to the end, because yeah, I'm curious too, just because I want to see what she does with these
He's
guys.
not, yeah, she is not even like a huge, he does other stuff. She's not even like a huge, like a part of the whole plot. She just comes in at a
Hmm.
certain point. I don't even remember what happens there because Quinn's basically like I think he's trying to appeal to Lestat at some point to turn him into a vampire. And that's how
Okay.
that's why it's irrelevant.
I'm just like, I'm exhausted. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah.
I want to get done with this book, but I also like every time I sit down to read it, I'm like, should I really be, this is, my small finite life that I am whittling away.
Hey, I offered it out. I said, "Do we even have to finish this?" And you said yes.
Yes, I know. Because I feel like we have to finish it. Like I don't like leaving things unfinished. Like there like that Exorcist sequel was the first book I DNF'd in a long time, because I'll just leave them sitting, and sometimes I'll finish them like 3 years later. Um
Not worth coming back to 3 years later. It's really not. Just take my word on that one.
yeah. Well, I put send that one to the thrift store because I've got to get I want to move. I've got to get rid of
Yeah.
my shit. So
Yeah.
we'll get through it. These are also going to the thrift store as soon as I'm done with them. Not
Oh,
keeping
good.
these.
I'm gonna leave all these in here.
You might just want to write WTF on them so that they know.
There you see. Yeah. Oh, I one of these, this one, is literally Rowan talking about, thank God Michael's there. His voice is so calming. I can't imagine what I would do without him. But you didn't even want him to come in the first place. You were gonna just sneak out the window. What do you mean? You're fake. That's fake news.
Yeah. They're just so disgusting. Like
That's not real. That's not real.
get the fuck out of my like headspace. Like get out of here. Fuck off.
Yeah, they're taking up space for rent free right now, and that should be illegal. I don't have any more juice for this.
Yeah, I'm good. That's fuck it. That's my
Bye.
review. Double whammy. Thank you for listening to the Annegirls Podcast. You can find us on the internet at annegirls.ghostinthemagazine.site.